Keeps control for Thompson. Pass for Stevens, wide open underneath on the basket. Great pass.
Backs down, now kicks out, up top to the left side, Caden Dahl. Dahl hesitates, then takes the three and knocks it home good. Dahl to get the turn. Carr trying to keep those legs underneath, then Cassette gets him down, and there's the pin.
Rebounded by Kendra Severson. Severson, here comes Bevins back the other way. Bevins, little contact, roll it in, good for Elena Bevins, and we're tied.
Through and Zeller with an excuse me bump, and here goes Semp for takeoff.
Halsted Telephone Company and R&J Broadcasting Incorporated is proud to present to you this broadcast on yourliveevent.com.
All right, everybody, we are live here at the North Dakota State Dual Team Tournament on the Class B side. This is sports announcer guy Brent Dick with the call today for the State Class B duels. We'll focus on the Lisbon Broncos in the first round action. Lisbon Broncos versus Kenmare-Bowbells Burke Central. That's your first round duels for the Bronco today. This is your Ira Insurance pregame show. Get Ira Insurance protection you want with the customer service you deserve at Ira Insurance. They cover it all from home, auto, crop, commercial, and benefits insurance. Go to irainsurance.com to get a free quote. We're about 9 minutes away from our opening round duel action, first round action for the North Dakota Class B boys duel tournament. We also have coverage of the Class A boys duel and the girls duel tournament. Also, yourliveevent.com. That's on a separate stream. And you can go to the main page and search for yourliveevent.com and find that stream link for the Class A and the girls duel team tournament, and with the focus on the Central Cass Squirrels. Your first round dual team action with Lisbon and Kenmare-Bowbells. Also, you have the number 3 seeded South Border Mustangs versus New Salem Almont Holsteins. Number 4, Northern Lights versus number 5, Killdeer Cowboys. And the number 1 seeded Velva Aggies will face the Carrington Cardinals. That's your first round matchups in the North Dakota Class B State Dual Team Tournament on the Class B side. Start out with your quarterfinals, or the colleagues the quarterfinals. Winners will move on to the semifinals, and the non-winners drop down the rest of your consolation duels immediately preceding first round action. So just depending on the outcome of this first duel between the Broncos and the Kenmare-Bowbells Burke Central, the old Kenmare Honkers, we'll just have to kind of wing it on the coverage that we have. We could be back either right around 11:30 or around 1 o'clock. Just depends on the outcome of the duels, or of this duel with the Lisbon Broncos. Still going through your Ira Insurance pre-game, pre-match, pre-tournament show on yourliveevent.com. Take a look at our starting lineups. So your American Crystal Sugar starting lineups for Kenmare-Bowbells Burke Central. Just kind of recap their day, individual tournament. The last 2 days, they finished in 10th place with 75.5 points on the individual side. They had state place winners in Cole Mogren at 114 pounds. Also a state champion at 139 pounds in junior William Cook. Another fourth place state finisher at 152 pounds with Lincoln Spear, the freshman. And then a fifth place finisher, another junior, 172 pound fifth place finisher at 172 pounds, Timothy Ford. And also state qualifiers, just kind of tell you the strength of their lineup. Also Joshua Mariner, state qualifier at 127. Connor Miller, state qualifier at 121 pounds. Another state qualifier, 160 pounds with Landon Spear. And 189, Tucker Tim. And their starting lineup, in the lineup for Kenmare-Bowbells Burke Central, they have 107 pounders. 2 of them listed are Leighton Spear and Matthew Harris, 114 pounders. Cam Peterson, Cole Mogren, the third place winner. 121 pounds, Joshua Mariner, state qualifier at 127 pounds. Also Paul Mellon at 127, and Connor Miller, state qualifier at 121 pounds. Gage Holter at 133, William Cook at 139, Travis Birch at 145, Lincoln Spear at 152, Landon Spear at 160 pounds, Timothy Ford at 172, and Tucker Tim at 189 pounds. And that is your starting lineup for your Kenmare-Bowbells Burke Central. We'll call them the Kenmare Honkers. And we are getting ready to go into our national anthem inside the Fargo Dome. So I will cut away and take a moment for our national anthem. Come back with your starting lineup here on your Ira Insurance pregame show and your Mr. American Crystal Sugar starting lineups on yourliveevent.com.
Hi, this is Chrissy Thompson from the Hillsborough and Central Valley School District. reminding you that ethics, integrity, and respect are values important to our daily lives. In our sporting events, educational lessons, and lifetime values taught by school activities. Remember that one simple word, sportsmanship. It's how you play the game. This message is from the Hillsborough and Central Valley School Districts.
This is Chris from RDK Enterprises, your local precision planting dealer. Manage what you can to overcome what you cannot. Farming is all about preparing your operation to be successful when given an opportunity. Invest a few minutes and bring in your seed meters to be reconditioned and calibrated. We have some room, so give us a call and we can help you overcome those simple obstacles. RDK Enterprises, 636-2119 or planterdoc.com.
Hey, welcome back. Your liveevent.com. Going through our starting lineups, your Ivy Insurance pregame show and your American Crystal Sugar starting lineups. They're just introducing the teams right now inside the Fargo Dome. Still have to go through a national anthem, but your starting lineup for the Lisbon Broncos, American Crystal Sugar starting lineup. 107 pounds, we have state qualifier Ian Anderson. 114 pound, fifth place state finisher Cruz Ranke. 121 pound state qualifier sophomore Grayson Lyons. 127 pound state champion Cashton Waitson, a senior. 133 pound third place finisher Noah Anderson, a sophomore. 139 pound state qualifier Jordan Dick, a senior. 145 pound sophomore sixth place state finisher Ryan Eng. 152 pound state champion Blaze Ranke, a senior. 160 pound third place finisher, a sophomore Eli Lyons. 172 pound third place finisher, a senior Mike Nelson. 189 pound state qualifier Madden Schwab, an eighth grader. 215 pounds Drew Anderson, a senior, and 285 pounds a seventh place state finisher, another junior, Aiden Hinkle, also with the Lisbon Broncos. Leon Salgado, Ryan Olson, Riley Asina, and Brock Lyons in the lineup for the Broncos. And now going to our national anthem, we will step away, take a word from our sponsors on yourliveevent.com.
You finally found the perfect car in Racing Blue. You even got them to throw in the LED fog lights for free. Auto Owners insures your car because some people never learn to parallel park. That's simple human sense.
River's Edge Insurance Agency, Halstead, 218-456-2172.
Keep going. More.
Full Service Foods in Hillsborough provides contract packaging and private label foods for your local and regional retail stores. Full Service Foods is a leader in the upper Midwest for less than truckload quantities for contract manufactured sauces and dressings. They are a privately held company with a reputation for quality and customer service. Full Service Foods is proud to be in Hillsborough and bringing employment opportunities to the area. Find out more at fullservicefoods.com. Full Service Foods of Hillsborough, proud to support this community event.
Even as a kid, I knew I wanted to be part of Polar Communications because they have such a long history of taking care of their employees.
I'm grateful that we get to work with great people every day, and I get to go home at the end of the day knowing that what we did for the day matters.
It's a great place to be part of a team and feel like you're achieving so much more than just answering a phone call. Polar is more than that. Polar is family.
Dakota Heritage Bank, serving you with 10 locations across North Dakota and northwestern Minnesota, has a strong background in ag and business lending, but they can also help with auto, recreational, personal, or home loans, including home equity lines of credit. Dakota Heritage Bank is a family-owned community bank where decisions are made locally. Our friendly staff greets you with a smile, takes the time to get to know you, and can help you with your banking needs. Visit us online, dhbanknd.com. Dakota Heritage Bank, Equal Housing Lender, member FDIC.
The Lisbon Bronco Athletic Boosters is a group of parents, coaches, and community members whose mission is to enrich the Lisbon High School athletic community by providing financial support for Lisbon High School athletic programs and events. If you are interested in getting involved, they invite you to join the Bronco Athletic Booster Group on Facebook to learn more. The Lisbon Athletic Boosters send a good luck wish to all athletes competing today.
Hey, welcome back to YourLiveEvent.com. Still with the Ira Insurance pregame show. Our starting lineups, went through our starting lineups. You kind of look at the Broncos, recap their day, our last 2 days at the state wrestling tournament. They finished in state runner-up to the Southport Mustangs. Southport Mustangs taking the individual state team championship. Broncos finishing in second with 150.5 points. They finished with state place winners with Cruz Ranke placed fifth at 114 pounds. Cashin Wadeson placed first at 127 pounds. Noah Anderson placed third at 133. Ryan Ame placed sixth at 145. Blaze Ranke, state champion at 152. Eli Lyons, third place at 116. Mike Nelson, third place at 172. And Aiden Hinkle, seventh place finisher at 285 pounds. So wrestlers just out on that. Team captain set out on the mat. We're starting at 285 pounds. So Aiden Hinkle going out for the Broncos. He will take a forfeit. Kenmare-Bowbells, no heavyweight. They do have 189 Tucker Tim on their roster. That is their heaviest weighed-in wrestler, or rostered wrestler here, 189. Now going into 107 pounds. Ian Anderson going out for the Broncos at 107. So this is your quarterfinal action. Anderson with either Leighton Spear or Matthew Harris. That match underway here. Anderson quickly into a front headlock position, chases the back ankle, picks up his 2-point takedown for Anderson. So Anderson goes up 2-0, working a cradle, has the cradle locked up on Matthew Harris, the 8th grader for Kenmare-Bowbells. Anderson rolls him over. You're looking for a first period pin. Back with that 2-minute first period and win by fall for Ian Anderson. So Anderson comes out for the Broncos. Fired up after his 2-day individual state tournament. Wins by fall for Ian Anderson. The Broncos also with wrestlers at 107 also have Lewin Salgado, 127-pound Ryan Olson, 152 Riley Lucina in the lineup, 7th grader, and 189 pounds Brock Lyon. So we may see those wrestlers in here. Now 114 Cruz Ranke on the mat. The Broncos with a 12-0 lead opening up. They received a forfeit at heavyweight and a win by fall with Ian Anderson. Now Cruz Ranke, Cole Mogren on the mat. So this is a rematch of the consolation semifinals between Mogren and Cruz Ranke. Mogren coming out on top of that in a close match with Cruz. Cole Mogren plays third. Ranke plays fifth at the state tournament. Both coming off a great year wrestling. They're trying to wrestle for a dual team state championship. Wrestler just locked up in the middle of the mat. Try to keep you up on what's going on. We still have at mat 6, 285-pound match between Cole Nitschke and C.L. Weinberger, number 3 seeded Southport Mustangs. Nitschke and Weinberger out on the mat. A couple of state place winners going at it also on mat number 6. And number 1 seeded in mat 7, the Velva Aggies, is Jamison Rimey wrestling Brody Weisenberger of Carrington. That match still underway. They have 30 seconds remaining in the first period. That one's scoreless. And scoreless between Nitschke and Weinberger from New Salem Almont. That's in the second period. Ranke and Mogren still locked up. Here's Ranke on a single leg shot, outside single. Mogren countering with the whizzer on the near side. And Mogren now drags down Ranke to the mat, trying to hook up that front head cradle. Gets the 2-point with the front head cradle as he drug down Ranke with that whizzer. Whizzer now. Ranke stands up with the 1-point escape, so 2-1's the score with 12 seconds remaining in the first period. It's 2-1 has the final 5 seconds. And Keenan Gores wrestling Lander Rice. That's Gores on top of Lander Rice here out in front of us on mat 8 between Northern Lights and Killdeer. That's at the end of the first period there. Keenan Gores working for a fall. And Jamison Rimey has Weisenberger down on his belly, working for the 2-point reversal. Weisenberger and Rimey. Rimey goes up 2-0 on Weisenberger in the duel. That's on mat 7. They're tied up between Northern Lights and Killdeer's, tied up at 6 apiece. They're at 114 pounds here with Cruz Ranke and Cole Mogren. That's a 2-1 lead. The wrestle's in the neutral position between Ranke and Mogren. Over on mat 5. And Mogren deferred to Ranke. Ranke chose a neutral. Mogren working a front headlock on Ranke, chasing his back leg on the edge of the mat here. Ranke hunkered down, sticking that head down there as Mogren tried to turn the corner on Ranke. Still 2-1 to score. Cruz Ranke down by 1 point to Mogren. Broncos up in the duel 12-0. Weisenberg and Rimey going at it on mat 7. Number 1 seeded Velva Aggies, and Jamison Rimey has a 2-0 and now 2-1s to score between Rimey and Weisenberger. Here's Ranke and Mogren. And Mogren is down on the leg on Ranke. Ranke with a good sprawl. Now Rimey tosses over Weisenberger. Rimey's working for the fall on Brody Weisenberger of Carrington, and a win by fall for Brody Weisenberger, or excuse me, for Jamison Rimey over Brody Weisenberger in that duel on mat 7 between Velva and Carrington. 6-0 lead for Velva. And Mogren with the takedown and scoring near fall on Cruz Ranke. Mogren has the far shoulder caught, rolls Ranke over, stretches out that far arm, does pick up his 3 near fall. He has a 7-1 lead. That's in the second period with 23 seconds on the clock. And Keenan Gores, Lander Rice. Lander Rice up on top of Gores, now walks around with the pinning combination, picks up 2 near fall. That score tightens up a little bit more. 7-5 is the score. Lander Rice now down by 2 points. That duel between Northern Lights, number 4 seeded Northern Lights, and number 5 Killdeer. Back and forth battle. That's tied up at 6 at 114 pounds. And Ranke and Mogren going into the third period. Mogren has choice. He chooses top position with Cruz Ranke. So Cole Mogren, the junior, third place at the state wrestling tournament, wrestling the 8th grader of the Broncos, 5th place state finisher Cruz Ranke. And Ranke off that whistle, able to isolate the arm and the wrist of Mogren, just trying to pass it over his head, get a little bit of separation. Mogren was able to spike the back ankle. Ranke just not able to get those hips separated with that back ankle spike. There's spike ankle, top wrestler laces there, foot and ankle underneath the other wrestler's near ankle on the backside. Now Ranke stands up, Mogren drags him back down. He has the arm chopped here, working an arm bar. Excitement still roaring over here on mat 8 between Keenan Gores, Lander Rice. 5-9's the score. Gores has the lead. That's in the third period, 1:30 on the clock. Mogren and Ranke still 7-1 is our score with a minute remaining in the third period. Isaiah Hackman, Sky Kramlich out on the mat. That's in the first period over on mat 7. And that match going final. Looks like going final with New Salem Almont and South Border at 107. So 6-3 is the score between New Salem Almont and South Border. 6-3. New Salem with the win at heavyweight. South Border with the win by decision at 107. And Ranke working reversal on Mogren. And a 2-point reversal for Cruz Ranke with 17 seconds. Ranke showing some life at the end of the period, down by 4 with 12 seconds on the clock. Wrestlers roll out of bounds. A couple state place winners going at it at 114 pounds. Same thing happening on mat 7 between Isaiah Hackman and Sky Kramlich. That duel is 6-0 lead for Velva. Down to a minute remaining. 9-5 is the score with Lander Rice. Keenan Gores. Lander Rice has Gores stretched out here at 114 pounds, trying to score near fall. Gores trying to work out the back door, has the leg, bottom leg caught, and they get a potentially dangerous call. And that's a final between Cruz Ranke, Cole Mogren. Mogren with the win by decision, puts 3 points on the board for the KBBC, Kenmare-Bowbells, Burke Central. The Kenmare Honkers on the board, 12-3 is your dual score. Now Grayson Lyons steps on the mat. So Lyons on the mat for the Broncos. He will face another tough opponent here out for Kenmare-Bowbells. At 121 pounds, Connor Mellon or Josh Mariner. We'll see who they threw in there. So that is Connor Mellon. Connor Mellon, state qualified at 121 pounds, a sophomore. So a couple sophomores, a couple state qualifiers out here between Grayson Lyons and Connor Mellon. Score now 10-5. Gores with the escape. And a 2-point takedown. He goes up here on mat number 8 between number 4, Northern Lights, number 5, Kielder. 10-5 score between Lander Rice and Keenan Gores. That's the end of the period. So 14-5 win by major decision for Keenan Gores, puts a bonus point on the board. 4 points on the board for Northern Lights. Dual score now 10-6. Lyons and Mellon still in a neutral position, under 50 seconds in the first period. The crowd behind us cheering for Northern Lights. And now Lyons throwing down on the edge of the mat by Mellon. With the 2-point takedown for Connor Mellon. Mellon with the 2-point takedown on Grayson Lyons. Here 121 pounds Broncos with the win by forfeit at heavyweight. The win by fall at 107 pounds for Ian Anderson. Cole Mogren, 114 pounds, the junior, wins by decision over Cruz Ranke. Mogren picking up a couple takedowns and near fall in that. Ranke with an escape and a reversal for his points. Here Mellon, as time runs out, takes the 2-0 lead into the first period. That's over on mat number 5, 121-pound action. Sky Kramlich and Isaiah Hackman. It's a 1-0 lead for Sky Kramlich. Kramlich in the lead 1-0 over Isaiah Hackman. That's in the third period, 1:45. Now Hackman ties it up 1 apiece at 107 pounds. And Blake Goebel, Chase Beaker out on mat 6. Here's Caden Hooley, Dean Dumas. Hooley catches Dumas and a head and arm, working for the fall for Northern Lights in that 10-6 duel. Northern Lights with the lead, 10-6 over number 5, Killdeer. Has it locked up tight on Dean Dumas of Killdeer. And now 3-0 your score between Mellon and Grayson Lyons. And over on mat 6 between Blake Goebel and Chase Beaker. Blake Goebel works near fall. He has the 11-1 lead and 3 more near fall. Now it's 14-1 and a win by fall for Caden Hooley of Northern Lights over Dean Dumas. 6 points on the board. 16-6 as Northern Lights increases their lead. 16-6 is your score on mat 8. The winners between Kenmare-Bowbells Lisbon faces the winner South Border New Salem Almont. Excuse me, they're at 107 pounds, so it's a 6-0 lead. At least that's what they have on the scoreboard. We're still at 107 pounds. I know I think track wrestling. Oh, that's right on there. 6-0 lead for New Salem Almont with that win by fall at 285. Blake Goebel getting some work in at 107 pounds. 14-1 the score for Blake Goebel. And Lions and Connor Mellon still 3-0. Broncos lead the duel 12-3. It's a 3-0 score. 22 seconds remaining in the second period. And final 10 seconds of the second period off the clock with Connor Mellon leading Grayson Lions 3-0. Wrestlers locked up here. Mellon attacking the near wrist. Double leg shot on Lions as time expires in the period. Lions chooses neutral to start the third period. He's down by 3 points to Connor Mellon. The Lions working and a cross wrist with the collar tie. Now backs up. Mellon holding the center of the mat. Lions with the head tap. Now Lions back working the head of Grayson Lions. Wrestler still circling in the center of the mat. Here's Braylon Herman, Jack Bombach. Herman and Braylon tied up at 2 apiece on mat 8. 2-point takedown for Bombach. 2-point reversal for Herman. That's number 4, number 5. Those matchups always good. Doesn't matter if it's individual or in the state dual tournament. 4 or 5 matchups, always electric here. And now Hackman and Kramlich in overtime. Isaiah Hackman defeats Guy Kramlich by decision. That was a sudden victory overtime win for Isaiah Hackman of Velva. Here's Grayson Lions, Connor Mellon. This 3-0 Lions chose neutral to start the third period. Mellon has the 3-0 lead on Grayson Lions. And Lions shrugs off the collar tie by Mellon. Mellon holding his ground. Lions circles back around towards the center of the mat. Wrestlers still on their feet now. 43 seconds remaining. Hey, Mellon has the 3-0 lead. He can just block and defend the rest of this final 35 seconds here with Grayson Lions. Mellon still holding center of the mat. Lions with his back to the edge. Lions takes a shot on Mellon. Mellon snaps him down, working up over the top. Lions drives into Mellon, gets to the edge of the mat, and drives him out of bounds. The Lions had the double leg shot on Mellon, just ran out of room with 20 seconds on the clock. So Connor Mellon with the 3-0 lead. Lions trying to go double underhooks on Mellon. Mellon kind of backing out now. Can afford it. And hits a nice level change on Grayson Lions. Drops straight down as Lions was going into him. Mellon with the level change. Catches Lions in a fireman's carry. Drops him down the mat for a 2-point takedown. 5-0 is your win by decision for Connor Mellon. So Kenmare-Bowbells with 2 wins in a row by decision. 12-6 your score. Picking up wins at 114 and 121. Now state champ Cashton Waitson steps on the mat. Wrestles Gage Holter. So taking on Gage Holter. Gage Holter on the roster, 133, a sophomore. A big double leg takedown by Waitson. Waitson going to work on top on Holter. Hard crossface over the top. Here, 4-3 score between Bombach and Braylon Herman. So Braylon Herman's up by 1 point between Jack Bombach, Braylon Herman on mat number 8. That's in the second period. 1:07 on the clock in that match. Wadeson back in on Gage Holter. On the edge of the mat, another 2 points. So 4-1's the score for Wadeson and Gage Holter. Holter hip heights back around, the rest of it out of bounds. Senior Wadeson going up against the sophomore Gage Holter. And Wadeson, another high crotch, fires up underneath on Holter. Now switches up, runs Holter over, takes him down to his hip. Splits the back leg, working near fall for the Broncos. Cash Wadeson now sinks in a deep half, runs it over on Gage Holter. Holter in the center of the mat. Wadeson works more near fall, goes head and arm. And a win by fall for Cash Wadeson in the first period over Gage Holter. Broncos now picking up a forfeit at 285, a pin at 107 by Ian Anderson. Another win by fall to stop that 2-match run by Kenmare-Bowbells. So Anderson with the forfeit at 133 pounds on the forfeit by Kenmare-Bowbells. A 24-6 is the score for the Broncos. 24-6 going into 139 pounds. Jordan Dick steps on the mat at 139. For Lisbon, William Cook, state champ, 139. We'll see if that's who they send out for Kenmare-Bowbells. You just have to wait. Wrestlers get checked in, so you don't know who checks in for what weight. So it does take a little bit of time for track wrestling to catch up. We can just go off our lineups that are printed in that state tournament program. That's Travis Birch, Kenmare-Bowbells out wrestling Jordan Dick. Travis Birch listed here at 145 pounds. Wrestling 139. The Broncos with another win by forfeit. They have the 24-6 lead in the first round, quarterfinal round. 6-4 is your score between Jack Bombach, Braylon Herman. Jack Bombach takes the lead. He's up 6-4 over Herman. Bombach in the situation position up over the top. Hits a crossface, trying to step around the backside of Herman. Herman gets up to his feet and his hands touching the mat. That's a 2-point takedown, a 2-point score for Jack Bombach. Now he's up 8-4 in the third period, 1:26 on the clock over there. Jordan Dick has the 2-0 lead with the takedown with a minute on the clock now. A 1-point escape for Travis Birch of Kenmare-Bowbells. Ryland Vetter at 1:14 wrestling Hayes Weinberger. Weinberger with the 9-2 lead over Ryland Vetter. A couple of state place winners going at it. Vetter working an armbar on Weinberger. Both wrestlers 107 pounds, wrestle at 107 pounds. 6-5 is your score, so it was a tech fall at 107 for South Border. 6-5 is the score over on that duel. Number 3 South Border wrestling New Salem. New Salem finished in third place in the team points. Down but not out. New Salem Holsteins. Now Jordan Dick with another takedown. Has the leg right in on the far side. Has the wrist trying to work a guillotine. Trying to throw that arm, or I should say ease that arm behind his head and sit back. 4-1's the score with 13 seconds on the clock. And Jordan now chops down on the arm of Travis Birch with 4 seconds remaining. Birch on his base. Jordan back with that leg right. His time runs out, expires in the first period. Jordan Dick with the 4-1 lead over Travis Birch. Jordan state qualifier for the Broncos at 139 pounds. And now some near fall. Near fall coming over here between Herman and Bombach. As time expires in the third period, 3 near fall, 10-9's the score as the bench for Northern Lights exploded, but 10-9, so Jack Bombach escapes with a win by decision. Or excuse me, no, we got 16-9. So 16-9 in favor of Herman. So 16-9 in favor of Herman. Not sure track wrestling, or excuse me, that's the dual score. But that was a win for Jack Bombach. So Bombach escapes with the 1-point win, 10-9. Dual score 16-9 between Northern Lights and Killdeer. Northern Lights with the lead 16-9 over Killdeer. And Jordan Dick working for the fall with 1:05 in the second period. Has Travis Birch on his back, up over the top, trying to readjust and stretch out that far arm. And the official slaps him out. Win by fall for Jordan Dick. 6 points on the board. Lisbon leads the duel 30-6. L.V. Henderson, Liam Albrecht out on the mat. The state runner-up, L.V. Henderson. That's a win by fall for Pitch Hager over Jaden Broadwell on mat 7 at 121 pounds. The Velva Aggies rolling in that duel now up 15-3 over the Carrington Cardinals. Here's L.V. Henderson, has Liam Albrecht. bottled up in a cradle. Albrecht just trying to keep that shoulder up as Elvie Henderson adjusts up over the top, puts the forehead down the mat. And here's Weston Clausen going out at 145 against William Cook. William Cook, the state champ at 139 pounds. Out wrestling Weston Clausen. Clausen having to do the hard chore of wrestling the state champ out there in William Cook. And Cook now with the takedown in, working near fall on Clausen. Clausen gets back belly down. Cook still working the back leg, Turks it over. So splits the back leg, stretches Clausen out. Clausen still trying to hold there at 90 degrees, not give it up. Now half Nelson thrown in by William Cook. Rolls over Weston Clausen. Here's Cook stretching that arm out, down to 30 seconds remaining in the first period, and a win by fall for state champion William Cook over Weston Clausen at 145 pounds. Here, 152. State champ Blaze Ranke steps on the mat. Ranke double leg shot. Big blast double leg. Has a 2-0 lead for Blaze Ranke. A duel between New Salem and South Border. Dual score 11-6 in favor of the South Border Mustangs. Out on the mat, Will Mossbrucker and Liam Lepp. That 6-2 lead for Will Mossbrucker. That's at 121 pounds. Here, Carrington and Velva. 15-3 lead, dual lead for the Velva Aggies, number 1 seed. Raider Barstead out on the mat, wrestling Colby Zink. Barstead in on a double leg shot on Zink. Zink just trying to tie up the back ankle of Barstead so he can't turn the corner. Keep those hips up on top. Now Ranke working a half Nelson. Throws over Lincoln Spear. Ranke working for the fall for the Broncos. He's up over the top, sits on, that has the hips on the chest of Lincoln Spear. Lincoln Spear for Kenmare-Bowbells placed 4th at state tournament at 152 pounds. Ranke trying to take care of business in the first period. Stretched the arm out of Lincoln Spear down to 40 seconds remaining in the first period. Now 35 on the clock. Ranke stretches out with the win by fall for Blaze Ranke at 152 pounds. Broncos with 6 more points on the board. Take a 36-12 lead on mat number 5 with the win by fall for Blaze Ranke. So on that Tim Kazed seed sales scoreboard, Golden Harvest seed sales scoreboard, Broncos up 36-12. Eli Lyons steps on the mat. Nice snap down by Lyons. Here, Northern Lights fans fired up with another win by Justin Hudson. So Hudson with the win over Landon Dumas. That's number 4, Northern Lights with the 22-9 lead. Now 28-9 is the dual score over the Killdeer Cowboys. The Lions gives up a 2-point reversal. So he had 3 near fall and a big half Nelson sunk in there by Landon Spear. Landon Spear placed a state qualifier at 160 pounds. Landon Spear working over 3rd place finisher Eli Lyons with a half Nelson. Lyons with the 5-2 lead. Landon Spear trying to make a statement. With Lyons going to ride him tough on top. Lyons Rolls through, not able to clear the hips there with that little Granby attempt. Now Lyons stands up. Hip heists back around on that mat return, throws over, locks up a cradle. As soon as he hip heists back around, caught the head of Landon Spear and rolls him over, working for the fall on the junior Landon Spear as Eli Lyons for the Broncos. Spear back belly down, now Lyons bulldogs and back over. There's steer wrestling going on out there for Eli Lyons in the win. With the 7-2 lead. Line still up over the top now, north-south with 15 seconds remaining. And the win by fall for Eli Lyons. 42-12 is your dual score for the Broncos. Duel started at heavyweight. Rolling through here, the heart of the Lisbon lineup. Eli Lyons wins by fall. Dual score 42-12. Here's Nelson. Nelson steps on the mat, waiting for his opponent to show up. So no match at 172. You're going to 189 pounds. 189, Madden Schwab. I believe that's Tucker Tim out there. Madden Schwab, the 8th grader. Tucker Tim, a sophomore. State qualifier Tucker Tim at 189 pounds. So just one more weight class to go. This duel started at 10 a.m., now 10:32. Going by quickly this first round, quarterfinal duel for the Broncos. Broncos with the 48-12 lead. Their quarterfinal action, and keep you updated over with the number 1 Velva Aggies wrestling Carrington. 15-3 is the dual score. Raider Barstead, Colby Zink still 7-2. They're in the third period. 10 seconds on the clock. Barstead looks like he'll pick up the win by decision over Colby Zink. Haviland DeLong, Elijah Ramos, number 4, Northern Lights. Wrestling in number 5, Killdeer. 2-1's the score going into the second period. Elijah Ramos with the lead, 2-1 over Haviland DeLong of Northern Lights. And Matt Schwab, Tucker Tim, locked up in the center mat. Both wrestlers standing straight up, doing some hand fighting. Tim pushes away Schwab. Schwab hangs on to the wrist. Down to 47 seconds remaining in the first period. Here between the 8th grader Schwab and the freshman Tim of Kenmare-Bowbells, Burke Central, the Honkers. And mat 6, number 3, Southborder Brody Michelson wrestling Charlie Irwin. New Salem Almont with the 12-11 lead over Southborder. Irwin with the 4-0 lead on Brody Michelson. That's at 127 pounds. And Irwin locks up a spladle on Michelson, rolls him over at the end of the period. Down to 6 seconds remaining in the second period. Here's Irwin working for the fall, has his 3 near fall on Michelson. And time runs out on the clock. Charlie Irwin with the 7-0 lead on mat 6. Here on the restart. On mat number 5 between Schwab and Tim. They're still on their feet wrestling. 5 seconds on the clock in the first period. Towel tapper Josie Carblum out there in the tap. And time runs out between Tucker Tim and Mad Schwab. And Schwab, here's Schwab and Tim back to their feet in the second period. 1:31 on the clock. And Tucker Tim with choice, choosing neutral. Schwab deferred over to Tim to start the second period. Wrestlers back up on their feet. Just working collar tie, still holding the center of the mat. Schwab and Tucker Tim. Helen DeLong with Elijah Ramos. That's 6-4, the lead for Elijah Ramos of Northern Lights. 28-9 your dual score between Northern Lights and Killdeer in favor of Northern Lights. 18-3 the dual score between Maddox Campbell, or I should say between Velva and Carrington. That match is tied up at 2 going into the second period between Maddox Campbell and Gabriel Clifton. And Matt 6, Brody Michelson, Charlie Irwin. Irwin with the 9-0 lead. That's the duel between South Border and New Salem Almont. New Salem leads by 1 in that duel, 12-11 at 127 pounds. And Schwab and Tucker Tim. Referee urging him into action there in the second period. 43 seconds on the clock. Tim with the little kind of knee swipe, a knee pick on, or knee sweep on Schwab. Now Schwab locks underhooks on Tim. Gonna roll into him, pushing into Tim heavy with the double underhooks. Tim backing up. And Schwab just has to be careful. Now Tim drops down, tries to knee pick Schwab. Schwab with the body lock on the edge of the mat. And wrestlers out of bounds for a restart in the second period. 22 seconds on the clock. Evelyn DeLong taking charge of this match on mat number 8 for Northern Lights. He has the 8-4 lead. Has Elijah Ramos on his hip, working up over the top with double leg, double boot ride. Now Schwab with the double overs on Tim. Tim going into Schwab at the end of the second period on the edge of the mat. Wrestlers out of bounds with 6 seconds on the clock. Wrestlers still stood up in their feet. Schwab will have choice to start the second period. At the end of regulation of the second period, still scoreless between Schwab and Tim. Schwab chooses bottom position. Tim's going to give him the neutral, so he's going to give him the 1 point neutral start for Tim and Schwab. Schwab with the 1-0 lead going into the third period. Here's Haviland DeLong working for the foul on Ramos. In the third period, 18 seconds on the clock. DeLong trying to pick up some more bonus points for Northern Lights. And Schwab with the big throw. Tim on the edge of the mat, and they're called out. Schwab drops Tim to the mat, but the official calls him out. Schwab had his feet in, his knees in, but no. As the official, now Tim going double unders. Schwab working inside on Tim. Now back to the near edge of the mat. Schwab trying to set up the big throw with Tim. Takes him over again and out of bounds once again. Tim down on the mat here with Schwab. I give Schwab the move of the match. RDK Enterprises move of the match or move of the duel with that throw out of bounds. It hits 2 of them. First one from my vantage point looked good, but we're back here 1-0 the score, third period. I'm just a sports announcer guy. I'm not the official on the mat. And Schwab goes into Tim, run out of bounds. Tim with the warrant for stalling. Kind of snapped down Schwab to the mat. With a minute 8 on the clock. Schwab now is up 2-0, so that's 2 stall warnings. Schwab with the 2-0 lead. He's still going into Tim with that 2-0 lead with a minute on the clock. Now Tucker Tim drops down Schwab. Steps around behind him. Little hip pipes back around for Tim. Faces Schwab. They're back to the center of the mat. Tucker Tim with his back to the center. Schwab goes double unders on Tim. Tim's going to try to get out of that. Or I should say double overs. Schwab showing Tim that he can throw. By Tucker Tim's drop down body hug, bear hug by Tucker Tim. That ducks under the overs, the double overs on Schwab. Gets around behind him, throws him down the mat. They're out of bounds, returns the favor back to Schwab, out of bounds, down to 31 seconds. Schwab with the 2-0 lead. Schwab trying to help out the Bronco Causer. They have the 48-12 lead at 189 pounds. Battling out with freshman Tucker Tim. 2-0 lead. Tim drops down, now Schwab backing out. Going to be warned for stalling as he backs out. 1 point. 2-1's the score, 14 seconds on the clock. Schwab has to circle back in, keep those feet moving as he's backing out again, trying to circle. And another knee slap. Schwab backed out of bounds with Tim. And Tim with the extracurricular throw Schwab into the coaches. The Bronco coaches down 2-1, 4 seconds. This is a heated match between Tucker Tim. The shot by Tim Schwab sprawls at the end of the period, and a 2-1 and win by decision for Mad Schwab over Tucker Tim. One of the more entertaining matches of that duel. Here's Drew Anderson, steps on the mat, 215 pounds, win by forfeit for the Broncos. That finishes out the duel. 57-12 is the duel score, 57-12. Here with the win by the Broncos in that quarterfinals. We'll step away, take a word from our sponsors. Final duel score, 57-12. Broncos win, advance into the semifinals, and they await the winner between the Southport Mustangs and the New Salem Almont Holsteins. Holsteins hold the 16-11 lead. That's on mat number 6. We will step away, take a word from our sponsors, and come back to recap this duel. Quarterfinal win by the Lisbon Broncos.
Wallach Johnson Insurance is your friendly neighborhood team of qualified insurance professionals celebrating over 40 years of service. As an experienced independent insurance agency, they have access to highly rated insurance companies and can shop around to find you an affordable solution for farm, crop, business, home, and auto insurance. Visit them at one of their locations in Lisbon, Winter, or Rutland and get a free quote started today. For more information, go to nd-insure.com.
Halstead Telephone Company delivers fast broadband internet, telephone, and cable TV to residents in this region, including Halstead, Shelley, Neilsville, Climax, Fisher, Bigland, Gentilly in Minnesota, and Hillsborough, Caledonia, Gardner, and Argosville, North Dakota. Serving the area residents since 1904, Halstead Telephone continues to create a bright future for this region using 100% fiber optic technology. Service plans offer flexibility and choices, and there's local support personnel ready to help. Contact Halstead Telephone Company today.
You're welcome back to YourLiveEvent.com. Recap our duel with the Lisbon Broncos winning 57-12 over at Kenmare-Bowbells, Burke Central, the KBBC Kenmare Honkers. Duel started at heavyweight with a win by forfeit for Aiden Hinkle. 6-0 is the score. Ian Anderson at 107 pounds picks up the win by fall in 36 seconds over Matthew Harris of Kenmare-Bowbells. 114 pounds. Cole Mogren puts Kenmare-Bowbells, Burke Central on the scoreboard. That score now, it's 12-3 in favor of the Broncos. And that's your Tim Kazed Seat Sales Golden Harvest scoreboard. The Broncos with the 12-3 lead going at 121 pounds. Connor Mellon with the win by decision, 5-0. Dual score now 12-6 after 121 pounds, 127 pounds. Cashton Wadeson gets the Broncos rolling with the win by fall on 120 over Gage Holter. 133 Noah Anderson picks up a win by forfeit. 139 pounds Jordan Dick over Travis Birch by fall in 3:05. Then William Cook's back out on the mat. Puts 6 points on the board for Kenmare-Bowbells with the win by fall over Weston Clausen. William Cook, a returning state champ, or the state champ at 139 pounds for Kenmare-Bowbells, Burke Central. Wins by fall over Weston Clausen. 12 points on the board now for Kenmare-Bowbells, Burke Central. After that, it's all Lisbon. Blaze Ranke with the win by fall over Lincoln Spear in 128. Eli Lyons with the win by fall in 146. And Mike Nelson with the forfeit at 172. Matt Schwab with the win by decision over Tucker Tim at 189 pounds. And Drew Anderson wins by forfeit at 215. And that's your final dual score, 57-12. Your final dual score, Lisbon with the win over Kenmare-Bowbells, Burke Central, the Kenmare Honkers. In the quarterfinals, they await the winner between Southport Mustangs and New Salem Almont. 17-16 dual score in favor of the Holsteins. They're up 17-16 as they're rolling in 139 pounds. Remember, duel started at 285. We talk about your Enbridge Energy wrestler of the duel. Life takes energy from Enbridge. Energyforlife.com. That's Enbridge. Visit Enbridge.com for all your career opportunities. And that's going to go to Ian Anderson, the Lisbon Broncos, Enbridge Energy wrestler of the duel. Anderson picking up the win by fall at 107 pounds. After that forfeit at 285, gets the Broncos with that 12-0 lead. Anderson coming off a state qualifying performance in the state wrestling tournament. Picks up a first period win and is your Enbridge Energy wrestler of the duel. Your Arctic Enterprises precision move of the duel, precision move of the match. From Arctic Enterprises in Hillsborough and Drayton for precision planning, updates, information, questions, contact Arctic Enterprises in Hillsborough and Drayton at 701-636-2119 or visit plannerdoc.com. They're here to help you from Arctic Enterprises, and that's going to Mad Schwab Schwab with those two big throws landing out of bounds, but I'll give that to Madden Schwab for Eddie Enterprises' precision move of the duel or the match. They're wearing down Tucker Tim, eventually pulls out the 2-1 win by decision. In a heated, contested match between Tucker Tim and Madden Schwab. That's going to go out for Eddie Enterprises' precision move of the duel, precision move of the match. Going out to Madden Schwab at 189 pounds for the Lisbon Broncos. The Broncos win this duel 57-12. They move on to the semifinals, still waiting the winner between New Salem Almont and the South Border Mustangs. And we will cover that on yourliveevent.com. So this is sports announcer guy Brent Dick signing off, and we will be back for your semifinal coverage later today on Your Live Event.
Goose River Bank is here for the communities we serve, building relationships that last a lifetime. Serving the strong Red River Valley and beyond, we are your neighbors, friends, and family, committed to providing everything from everyday personal banking to loans for your farm or business. Visit one of our locations in Mayville, Hillsboro, or Hatton, or reach out and we'll happily come to you, because it's the neighborly thing to do. Goose River Bank. Strong bank, strong communities.